Hello, you guys. This is Sai, and today we're going to be talking about factoring. Now, we have learned about variables, so I think it's prime time to start talking about what factoring is. Now, factoring is extremely important, okay, with Algebra 1 and the future math courses you'll be taking. So, this is a video and topic that you should definitely focus on. Okay, so let's start with the definition of what factoring is. So the informal definition of factoring is that you're just splitting, okay? So for example, if you just, let's not even worry about the variables, expressions, and all of that, okay? If we're just talking about numbers, let's just say we use 10 as one of our, numbers as an example. Now, the factors of 10 would be 5 and 2 because 5 times 2 equals 10. Okay, so the factors of 10 are 5 and 2, and obviously similarly 2 and 5. Okay, so the informal definition is again splitting, and the Google definition would be that you're trying to find what to multiply together to get an expression. All right, so let's move on to the examples. Now, the way you would factor this is that there are multiple steps, and the first step you would do is you would first take a look at these numbers. Now remember, in front of the x squared there's always an invisible 1. You just don't write it. Okay, so 2, yeah, 2 times 1 is obviously 2. So you would write 2 over here, and then what you want to then look at is what are the factors of 2 that add to 3. Okay, and just to start off, there will be 2 and 1 because you have to kind of just think about it a little, but the factors of 2 are 2 and 1, and 2 times 1 is equal to 2. That's why 2 and 1 are factors, and 2 plus 1 equals to 3, and bam, that's that 3. That's why you want to use 2 and 1. Okay, now to move on, the the factors of x squared plus 3x plus 2 would be x plus 2, and I don't know why this is so weird. Okay, x plus 2 and x plus 1. Let me write that better. Okay, and now let's just dissect this just a little more. So I got these addition or plus signs from 2 and 1 being positive. Okay, hypothetically, if this problem had a negative in here and your factors would be -2 and -1, then your factors would be x minus 2 and x minus 1. But in this problem, they're not. There's positives in here, and there would be no negatives. That's why, since 2 and 1 are positives, you would have positive numbers here. Okay? Now, just to help you learn this better, let's FOIL this out. Okay? Let's multiply this and this together and show you that when you multiply these two, you will get this. All right? Let's start. So I'm going to just select a different color. Okay, and let's just highlight this because that's our answer. All right, so x times x, okay, x times x is x squared. And then you have plus 1x because this x still has to multiply with this 1. Okay, and then you have 2x because of this. And then you're going to get 2 because 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, now we have we could simplify this further because 1x plus 1 plus 2x equals to 3x. X squared plus 3x plus 2. And that's what I told you guys. X squared plus 3x plus 2, x squared plus 3x plus 2. These are the same. So all you just did was you split this up into these two factors, and that's how factoring works. Now, if this was simple, then that's awesome because there are harder problems waiting for you. But if this was hard, don't worry about it. Just practice is what's going to get you there. And yeah, again, with math, we all know practice makes perfect. All right. So let's move on to this example. Okay, so now you have a huge number like negative 45, or small number, I should say, but 45, that's still a huge number, okay? But all you have to do is just find factors of 45. Now, we know that 5 times 9 is equal to 45. Okay, 5 times 9 is equal to 45. So let's just forget about this negative 45 for a second. And if we're just thinking about 45, 5 times 9 is 45. That's it. And now what we have to do is we have to think about the fact that where can we put negative signs within these two numbers? So where can we put negative signs to get us this? Okay, we need a negative 4. That's what we need because we have to find out, again, I'm going to say this a billion times. We have to find two numbers that multiply to this, but add to that. Okay, and those two numbers would be negative 9 and 5 because this middle term is negative 4. Now, negative 9 plus 5 is equal. Negative 9 plus 5 is equal to negative 4. And bam. And similarly, 5 minus 9 is equal to negative 4. And that's exactly what we needed. So your factors would be x plus 5 and x minus 9. So this is like more of a second level problem. You just took care of learning how addition works over here, and now we threw in negative signs to make this a little more harder. Okay, that's your answer, you guys. Okay, so let's just highlight this. That's your answer. And again, we could do the same thing over here. We could do this over here, and we're gonna get the same result. Now I encourage you to try that out after this video.